Don't ever laugh as a hearse goes by, for you may be the next to die. They wrap you up in bloody sheets to drop you 6 feet on.
Tonight, on the Midnight Train podcast, we're taking the train back to the land of unsolved true crime as we discuss the Long Island serial killer. Who was it? Who are the suspects? Why do people get so upset over the F word? Listener discretion is advised. We thoroughly enjoy using the F word and others because we're fucking adults. MK love you, bye. All aboard.
The worms play pinochle on your snout. They eat your eyes, they eat your nose as you begin to decompose. A slimy beetle with demon's eyes chews through your stomach and out your sides. Your stomach turns to rancid grease and pus pours out like melted cheese.
Hello, passengers, and welcome to the Midnight Train podcast, where we bring the dark to light. You guys know what that means. We make fun of and joke about creepy shit while saying the F word as much as possible.
Fuck.
Fuck. I am your host, the conductor of the cryptic, Jonathan Sayer. Damn it. And with
You
me,
gotta earn it, dude.
there are my co-hosts, Mr. Moody and
a little bit
Logan.
Hello.
Oh.
You get the whole thing.
I get the whole thing.
So listen, what we've decided to do is we're going to start making our intros shorter,
A little bit shorter, yeah.
so we can just get right into the meat and potatoes.
Fucking meat. I love
No
meat
gravy.
and potatoes.
Meat and potatoes. And we're going to be talking about some true crime today. So, it's just what we do. So, you beautiful bunch of dark passengers know that we're just a bunch of musicians and assholes that love history and can't get enough of the mysterious. I want you all to know how much it means to us that you're listening to us at this very moment.
Yep.
Your reviews and support really do make all the hard work worthwhile. And saying that, please stop over to Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening right now and give us a 5-star review. It really does help. It helps move us up the rankings so other people can see us and listen to us and go,
Tell us
wow,
hi.
these guys swear a lot.
Yeah, tell us hi. Let us know that you like our swearing or hate it, whatever.
Right. So,
Just give us 5 stars.
Yeah. You can leave any review you'd like. You can also find us on Spotify and iHeartRadio by typing the Midnight Train podcast in their search bar and clicking the follow button. You'll then get each episode as they are released. And Patreon subscribers
What?
just received a bonus on Cotton Mather and the Goodwin Children.
And they will be getting a new one shortly.
Yes, another one coming up here soon. In fact, if you sign up over at patreon.com/the Midnight Train podcast or head on over to the midnighttrainpodcast.com and click on the Patreon button and subscribe to our Patreon, you can get over 30 bonus episodes.
No.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
over 30. And they're just building and we're getting more and more in there.
Wow.
Yeah, and the bonus episodes are fun, people.
We got the Devil's Bible is going to be the next one.
Devil's Bible's coming up.
Swoop. I think it's pronounced Bibli though. So I don't know.
Okay.
No, it's Bible.
The Devil's Bible.
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 Devil's Bible.
Devil's Bible.
So now listen, speaking of Patreon, we have decided, and this is actually Logan's idea, and I thought it was a great idea.
Hi.
We've decided that once we hit 100 producers through our Patreon, and obviously more as we continue to build, we're going to start giving 10% of whatever you producers are helping us out with to a specific charity that we'll announce every month.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Get bonuses, give to a good cause. Sounds simple enough. You know what I mean?
It does.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing, and we'll find some different ones, and maybe the listeners can give us some charities to
if
help
you
out
guys
with.
got one, like that would be awesome if we could do that too. Just like if the listeners, the Patreon subscribers, like are parts of charities or something that we could give to, that would be amazing.
Maybe we could do a poll. Oh,
we can.
Oh, yes.
It says it that you can put a poll up.
What am I, stripper Kevin over here?
Hey.
Hey.
So yeah, it sounds simple enough, and it sounds like us giving to a good cause.
Yeah.
And so we did that to the mental health organizations
For
a
the
while
merch,
back.
yeah.
For merch and stuff like that. But I feel like Patreon producers, you guys can help us decide who we're going to send it to, and then we'll start building it up once we hit that 100 on there. And listen, we're getting close, so keep telling your friends to sign up. They get bonuses, they get cool shit, and they're going to help out a good cause. So
Correct.
Plus, a lot of you guys know we have a lot of fun over at our official Facebook group page, so sign up over there, and it's super easy to do. And if you're new here, we do have a drinking game.
We do.
For every time that we happen to quote a movie. Now, listen, we don't try to force them in there,
Real quick.
Yeah.
And I don't want to drag this out too much, but Danny brought up a good point.
Uh-oh.
In the WoW episode, isn't every one of those WoWs technically a drink?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
You mean from Owen Wilson?
Oh my God.
So every time we would go, wow, that's technically a drink.
It is.
And we played that video.
Oh man.
That clip.
If anyone did that, please let us know when you're getting out of the hospital because maybe Patreon can help.
Flowers.
Oh my gosh.
So listen, let's turn down the lights, adjust our seats, grab a drink, and let's get spooky.
We did.
But first, actually, we do have a drink, don't we?
We do have a drink. We are drinking today. We have, as a gift for coaching soccer from my friend Spencer, we got another bottle of Macallan. This is a Macallan 15 triple cask matured.
And it is freaking fantastic.
It is.
It is delightful.
Wonderful.
Full disclosure, we've already started, so ketchup mustard.
Yeah.
Here's a toast to all you beautiful motherfuckers.
Oh, yes.
That's a good one.
That was good.
Oh.
You got to stop doing that.
Where's this going? Have you heard this yet?
I have not.
So this might be it for 2 minutes? Wait. I like it, though. It's
Setting the mood, man. Setting the mood. We're heading into
New York.
For some...
Hey, I'm in New York. I got a gun. Let's go to a Broadway show.
I thought that was in...
It's Wayne's World.
Yeah, but he said not New York.
Yeah.
No, it was... Yeah.
He says Broadway.
Yeah, duh. It's
Not
good.
Broadway in Cleveland.
We do have Playhouse Square, though.
I actually really like this a lot.
Yeah. Is it going to go anywhere, though?
I don't think so.
All right. Well.
So here we are again, dipping into the world of true crime. Unsolved true crime, of course, our favorite.
It is our favorite.
Today we are looking at a decades-long unsolved case. Many women have gone missing, their bodies turning up around Long Island in New York. No one is sure who's doing it or why. There are many theories as to the identity, including a doctor and a dirty chief of police.
Dirty cops.
Don't like that.
Dude, that guy,
Dirty cappers.
that is a shady motherfucker, too.
Yeah?
I'm sorry. Was it Mother Father?
Mother Father.
Yeah, sorry.
Shady Mother Father.
Sorry, I apologize that I used the F word.
And we'll talk about that at the end of this, just in case you're not following us on social media or whatnot.
It's funny because we know that guy's not listening anymore, but it's just like, we still got to give shit.
We'll discuss that at the end of the episode. So again, we're going to discuss all of this on tonight's episode, of course, and we're talking, of course, about the Long Island serial killer, also referred to as the Gilgo Beach Killer or the Craigslist Ripper.
Yes.
The Lisk, as we'll pretty much call it this entire time.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people refer to it too, is just the Lisk.
It's Lisk, and that stands for Long Island Serial Killer.
Right,
there you go.
That's cute.
Isn't it great, though?
So cute.
Oh, yeah.
I love when you can do that.
Kind of makes it not good. Anyway, so the Lisk is an unidentified individual allegedly responsible for the murder of between 10 and 17 women. Yeah,
it's a lot.
And one man.
One dude.
Which I will...
weird.
I will approach my thought on that later. So
okay, they assume... So... Just real quick, without giving too much away, they assume that a lot of these women were sex workers, if not all of them. And they also assume that the guy was a sex worker. And that's why he was kind of ended up. But I couldn't really find much on him. He's not been identified. Except that he's apparently an Asian man.
Oh, wow. Well, also, we'll be talking about the subsequent dumping of their bodies along the Ocean Parkway over a period of nearly 20 years, which is insane if you think about that.
They're all very close to each other. We have a map, which we'll post, that shows where all the bodies were found.
Yeah, and just off topic real quick, we are still trying to get the whole freaking YouTube thing figured out, and once we do, we'll make sure that everybody, we have one that we'll post up from last week's episode.
It's going to be glorious.
We're not even doing this week's episode just because you guys know how, if you're a long-time listener, you know I'm a fucking human EMP, and everything I touch electronic turns to shit.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's not just electronics, but
so just get used to that. You know what I mean? So on May 1st, 2010, Shannon, is it Shannon or Shannon?
I don't know. I think it's Shannon, just spelled funny.
Okay.
She has another daughter as well, which we'll hear about, but she has a name that's a normal name, but it's spelled fucking stupid too.
Because isn't that Shannon? Wasn't that Shannon? Was it Peterson? No,
No. That was the guy that shoved their bodies into like a fucking oil rigger.
So
I can't think of his name now off the top of my head. But that was Shannon. Was how that was pronounced? Shannon. But so I think this is just Shannon though.
Shannon. Okay, so Shannon Gilbert, a sex worker, went to a client's house for a meetup. It wouldn't be long before things went awry and Shannon went missing. Sometime after she arrived to her appointment, she ran from the house and took off screaming. She ran to another house on the street and banged on the door. The man who lived there looked outside and saw Shannon hysterical on the porch, obviously.
Yeah.
Shannon was screaming, and the man was having trouble understanding her aside from her asking for help. The man was very confused and said he would call the police for her. As he said this and turned to walk to his phone, Shannon began screaming again and took off down the street.
Yeah.
That is the last time anyone would see Shannon alive. While Shannon's body would not be found for a year, the search for her would turn up something incredible: the evidence of a serial killer operating for possibly decades in the Long Island area. That was late.
I wanted to make sure I got the right button. Leave me alone. If not, it would have turned out probably really weird.
In December of 2010, police officer John Malia and his canine companion, a German shepherd named Blue. That's awesome.
You're my boy, Blue.
You're my boy, Blue.
That's a drink.
That's a drink.
Yep.
They were searching for Shannon's body on their own time in the dunes of Ocean Parkway on the south shore of Long Island.
Dude wasn't even on duty.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just going to take the dog. We're going to go look for buddies.
Yeah. See, that's awesome, though. Takes his job seriously.
I get
You know
that.
what I mean?
Yeah, that's
super cool.
sweet, man.
Yeah.
That's good.
Malia and
they're trying to
Blue,
find him.
yeah, they taking that extra step. So Malia and Blue came across a body. The body was not Shannon's, but it was a body that started a search for a serial killer. They found the skeletal remains of a woman stuffed into a worn burlap sack, very synonymous with our Cleveland torso killer. Remember, he used to use burlap sacks for.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
The horrifying discovery led to a police search for the Ocean Parkway between the towns of Gilgo Beach and Oak Beach in Suffolk County.
Such a silly name. I'm sorry. Every time I read or see that Gilgo,
Gilgo.
I just think of like
Gilgo Baggins.
Yeah, Gilgo Baggins. It should be like a character in fucking Gilgo.
Gilgo.
And this is also in the area of Jones Beach State Park in Nassau County. 2 days later, 3 more bodies, all female, were found dumped among the dunes. Suffolk County Police Commissioner Richard Dormer was quoted by news media as saying, quote, 4 bodies found in the same location pretty much speaks for itself. It's more than a coincidence. We could have a serial killer.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Maybe.
it's pretty obvious.
So another thing I just want to throw out there is a lot of times, like in a lot of the articles I was reading, and there was a shitload of them, they refer to those
That's
four.
patreon.com/the Midnight Train
Yeah.
podcast.
A lot of the articles, everyone refers to them as the GB4, the Gilgo Beach 4, because of the fact that those were all together, and like the other ones were a little bit like they were the first 4 and they were all together, while the other ones were kind of
It
spread
was like
out
a
down.
cluster.
Yeah, they
okay.
were all in the same spot, so they kind of refer to those 4 as like the GB4,
The GB4.
not to be confused with CB4.
Or is that the Chris Rock? Yeah, that movie's amazing. Was it CB4 or CB40? For some reason,
4.
it is CB4. Okay. The 4 bodies would all be identified as women who used Craigslist as a means to get more work as escorts. Maureen Brainard Barnes, 25 of Norwich, Connecticut, was an escort who advertised her services online. Maureen was last seen on July 9th, 2007, saying that she planned to, quote, spend the day in New York City. She was never seen again. Maureen worked as a paid escort via Craigslist to pay the mortgage on her house. She had been out of the sex industry for 7 months, but she returned to the work in order to pay her bills after receiving an eviction notice. Shortly after her disappearance, a friend of Maureen, Sarah Carnes, received a call from a man on an unfamiliar number.
Mm-hmm.
The man claimed that he had just seen Maureen and that she was alive and staying at, quote, a whorehouse in Queens.
Yeah, I mean, where else are you going to go?
You ever seen Best Little Whorehouse in Texas?
No. I've seen like bits and pieces. Is that what's her name?
Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
And Burt Reynolds.
I mean,
Dude,
you know.
Burt Reynolds.
There's a song in there called, and if you guys listen, whatever, it's like a late 70s, early 80s,
yeah, it's
something
the
like that.
70s.
And she's a madam
Hooah.
at the Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
I mean,
And she had this song called Hard Candy Christmas. And it's so good, dude. It's so good. Every time I hear it, I kind of well up a little bit. I'm like, oh my God, I love that. It's such a great movie. Go watch it, seriously.
John likes whores.
He refused to identify himself, the guy who called. He refused to identify himself and could not tell Carnes the location of the house. Kind of shady.
Yeah.
He told Carnes he would call back and give her the address, but never called again. Carnes said that the man had no discernible New York or Boston accent, so probably
Weird.
not from the area.
Weird.
It's pretty weird.
It's weird.
It's very weird. I'm telling you, that guy was not from around here.
When I was reading that, man, I was just like, that is, because like, that's fucking shady as shit. Obviously, that guy knew something was going on with her, right? Like, I don't know how big of a story, like, because it was a couple days after she went missing, right?
Yeah.
They got the call. So, like, that guy obviously knew. Like, I don't know how big of a like story it was. Like, how many people outside of like the immediate family and whatever knew that she was really missing at the time. You know what I mean? So like, it's weird that they would get that call.
But it also goes with the whole you're in a big city and you have the stigma of being a prostitute or whatever like that.
Well, right,
you know what I mean?
But I'm saying like that dude obviously had an idea that something was going on with that girl. But that's what I'm saying. Like, how big was the coverage at that time? Like,
right,
that's a big deal. Like, that could have there's a very good possibility that dude was the guy who did it,
or at least involved or knew something. Yeah, you're true. Melissa Bartholomew. Right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. 24 of Erie County, New York, went missing on July 10th, 2009. She'd been living in the Bronx and working as an escort through Craigslist. On the night she went missing, she met with a client, deposited $900 in her bank account, and attempted to call an old boyfriend, but did not get through. Beginning 1 week later and lasting for 5 weeks, her teenage sister Amanda received a series of, quote, vulgar, mocking, and insulting calls from a man who may have been the killer using Melissa's cell phone.
What the fuck?
There you go. More phone calls. That's why I'm wondering if it was the same guy that called the other chick.
Right.
That's fucking crazy.
You know what I mean?
The caller asked if Amanda was a whore like her sister. Okay, dick, calm down.
God damn. Right to the point on that one.
Yeah, calm down. The calls became increasingly disturbing and eventually culminated in the caller telling Amanda that Melissa was dead and that he was going to, quote, watch her rot. Jeez.
Yeah, that's. I always found that shit to be really creepy. Like how like Albert Fish wrote that letter to the girl's mom. Like people that contact the family after they do something, like it's like just like the insult to injury. It's like how fucking sadistic you got to be. I'm sorry, how farting sadistic do you have to be to do that to somebody?
No,
you know what I'm saying?
It's
like
deplorable.
That's somebody that is. Who's just a psychopath?
Who was the one guy? He was a serial killer, and
BTK did the same thing.
Yeah, BTK. But the one guy I'm thinking of, and man, his name, I know his name, and it's I want to say it's Ezra something, but it's not Ezra. It's something like that. But he took a girl from like a photo mat or something like that.
Is that Israel Keys?
Yes,
dude?
that's it. Israel Keys. That fucking guy. She was dead, and he was taking pictures of her and sending it to her parents
to make them think that she was alive,
still alive, and was like painting her face and stuff while she was still dead to try and get ransom from them. Like, what the fuck?
That's crazy.
Dude, that shit's fucking. That's beyond deplorable.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to take somebody's life, especially an innocent life that you don't know.
Enough, yeah.
That's bad enough, but then to go that extra step, fuck you.
I just never.
I mean, fart you.
Yeah, poop you.
Poop.
I just don't get that. Like,
pants.
You just gotta
poop. Run. Poop mouth.
I just like. Yeah, I don't know, man. That shit just like. That's like an extra level of fucking crazy.
Just vicious. Vicious. So Megan Waterman, 22, of South Portland, Maine, went missing on June 6, 2010, after placing advertisements on Craigslist as an escort. The day before, she had told her 20-year-old boyfriend that she was going out and would call him later. At the time of her disappearance, she was staying at a motel in Happapaug, New York, 15 miles northeast of Gilgo Beach. Now, just reiterating this is not that fucking long ago.
No.
For some reason, I thought this was
early
like
2000s.
Way back. Yeah, this is like 2010.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, a lot of them went missing. A lot of the ones, so they found them. Yeah, like when they found them, like a lot of them have gone missing. Like some of the later ones you'll read, like early 2000s, like 2008, 2007, some of them went missing.
That is so wild. For some reason, I had it in my head that this was like back in like the 70s. Well, it's weird because when you hear,
well, that's the thing. Like when you hear like, oh, it's been going on for like 20, 25 years, you're like, holy shit, that's forever. But like 20 years ago was 2001. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're fucking old.
God, we're old.
Well, kids nowadays are referring to the late 1900s, as the 90s right now. So it's awesome hearing that.
Who says that?
A bunch of kids nowadays are like, oh, the 90s, it's the late 1900s. Like, I feel like I should be talking like this the entire time. Cheerio.
Heck, when I was a kid.
Let us get the Nintendo 64.
You guys ever heard of that band Limp Bizkit? They're a classic. Okay, when I came from, that's classic.
Dude, they're fucking listen to 98.5, the classic rock station. You got Soundgarden on there, Nirvana, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
There was something I heard on there the other day that was literally like a 2000s song, and I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Amber Lynn Costello.
Now that you know that we're old.
Yeah. Amber Lynn Costello, 27, of North Babylon, New York, a town 10 miles north of Gilgo Beach, was a prostitute and heroin user who went missing, she was, on September 2nd, 2010. That night, she reportedly went to meet a stranger who had called her several times and offered her $1,500 for her services. So, of course,
I'd go.
Yeah, for $1,500, of course she's going to.
Yeah, it's a pretty good way to lure somebody.
Poor girl. After these 4 bodies were found, and these are the ones that were found in Gilgo Beach together.
Yeah, that was the GB4.
The GB4.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
After these 4 bodies were found, police widened the scope of their search. As they did this, more and more gruesome things were found.
Yep.
In late March and early April of 2011, damn, that's
this is
so not
close. Yeah, 10 years ago.
crazy.
10 years ago.
That's insane.
Man, 4 more bodies were found. 1 body was found about a mile east of where the first 4 were located, and 3 more on the north side of the highway several miles further down.
Jeez.
What differed about these 4 was that none of their remains were encased in burlap, as the initial 4 had been. Because remember, again, they were found in burlap sacks.
But there is something else weird about them that I think I made a comment about it in there too, that you'll see the habit of putting bodies in things, which you'll see what I'm talking about. But it definitely bodes for me to it's probably the same fucking guy.
And the crazy thing about this is that Shannon Gilbert,
still hasn't
the
been
woman
found.
we were speaking of in the beginning, whose disappearance actually sparked the entire search, she wasn't even among them. She wasn't even a part of it. They didn't even find her yet.
No, not as of,
Right.
She was one of the last ones they found, I think.
Suffolk County Police expanded their search into Nassau County in an effort to find more potential bodies. So they obviously knew some shit was going the fuck on.
Yeah.
I mean, going the frick on.
Going the fart on.
Fart. Farts, is that our word?
We'll go with fart.
Okay, fart's good. I hope that doesn't
Fudge.
insult anyone.
Fudge?
Fudge.
Go with fudge.
I like fudge.
You guys are okay with fudge, right? There's no I don't want to offend any diabetics out there.
Careful, your intellect is not good enough to handle that joke.
Oh, that's
Moody.
right. We're stupid too.
Yeah, we're stupid as well. We sound like such butthurt assholes right now. It's so funny. And we're really not at all.
This is how we are.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just I feel like it's better for us to make fun of it and bring it to a light. And we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Of these 4 new bodies, only one has been identified. That is the body of Jessica Taylor. Jessica was only 20 years old and also worked as a prostitute. She went missing in July of 2003.
Some of the older ones.
When they found her body, it was missing its head and hands. Holy shit. Whew. They would later be found at, you guessed it, Gilgo Beach. Another female body was found and named Jane Doe 6. She was found dismembered. Oh, my God.
Yeah, there's a lot of dismemberment.
Next body found was identified as a young Asian male.
Yeah, there you
This is the
go.
one we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
They dubbed him simply John Doe He. Why the he?
You already named him John Doe. I think that's pretty obvious.
Why do you need
indicative
a
of the
he?
fact that he's a male?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like John, whatever. Fucking whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
Actually, no, there was just no period there.
That would make sense.
Whatever you put on the teleprompter, Ron will totally read.
There's another one.
Yes. So his name was John Doe. He had died, unfortunately, from blunt force trauma. And we're not trying to make fun of how he died or whatever, just the fact that Moody doesn't punctuate very well
it's
sometimes.
my fault.
Well, I didn't do that. Anyway, he unfortunately died from blunt force trauma. The 4th body is not thought to be related to the Lisk for one main reason. It was a child.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. A toddler between the ages of 16 and 24 months and named Baby Doe had been found wrapped in a blanket and showed no visible signs of trauma.
That's the weird thing to me. They couldn't.
Died of natural
it
causes.
wasn't beat. It wasn't beat up or cut up or there's no bruises and nothing no bones, skull fracture, nothing. They have no idea.
So maybe whoever
and I looked
had
around
the
to
kid,
see
just something happened and they
I looked
didn't know
around
what
to
do.
see if they ever figured out I could not find a cause of death for the baby, for the kid. I don't know. So I don't know if they ever figured out if they did. I couldn't find it anywhere.
Well, that sucks regardless.
So I
that's
don't know.
fucking horrible.
Terrible.
Oh shit, that's good.
Just gotta sip on it, bro.
Oh my God.
So I don't know if I don't know if so that's weird because I don't know if it was woman gave birth, couldn't take it, freaked out, and just tossed it, and it just happened to be in the same area, or I think maybe it could have been related, that could have been the child of one of the people killed.
Suffolk County officials have not ruled the baby's death a homicide.
No.
Okay. Yeah. And speculate that it was unrelated to the alleged victims of the Long Island serial killer. as it obviously did not fit with their established modus operandi in any discernible way, which makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get, but I feel like
it's still weird.
I feel like it's got to have something to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, is it possible that one of those women had a kid?
That's what I'm saying. Like, and it just kind of kid got in the way and was just kind of like,
but if it's not ruled a homicide, then that would mean that, I mean, because there's three. What is it? There's three. There's homicide, suicide,
and like accidental
and natural causes.
Yeah.
Those are the four ways that if they put on a death certificate that's how you are labeled if you die.
Yeah.
There's only four.
Yeah.
You know, unless it's unknown causes, which is weird to me. Like, you can't figure out what the hell it is. It's like aliens probe their assholes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, that would go on what? That would probably be accidental, right?
I don't know. Would it?
Could you imagine dying due to anal probing?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't mean to kill you. So it was an accident. They were just trying to get colon information.
It was just a little too big.
Yeah, or did they? And maybe that's why it's unknown.
That's true. That's true.
So we don't know what they're doing. So on April 11th, the search in Nassau County intensified.
Nassau.
And soon afterward, a set of partial remains were uncovered. Oof. Bones found by a police dog, a good dog, as well as a separate skull from yet another possible victim.
Yeah.
This brought the body count linked to the alleged Long Island serial killer to 10. It's a big number. That's a very big number. By the way, of course, is what we do here. We always derail on this. But I was listening to the Sons of Sam. That new Netflix thing, and it's actually really awesome. I don't know if you guys have checked it out. It's on Netflix or whatever. And when I say listening to, I was actually at work and I just kind of put my earbuds in and just kind of like let it play. And it's kind of weird because I'm pretty sure that the what's his name, Son of Sam killer, what was it?
Berkowitz.
Was it 7 he killed? Supposedly, watch the Netflix thing.
Yeah.
I think it was like 7, 8.
I don't remember the body count.
It was something like that. But then when you think about world famous, like legendary serial killers, Jack the Ripper always comes up, but he only had like what, 3 or 4 definitive kills.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy to me. Is it the fact that it's unknown and we don't know who
I think so.
Jack the Ripper was? And listen, one day we'll do an episode on Jack the Ripper.
It's unsolved.
Yeah. Huh?
It is unsolved.
Yeah, it's unsolved, and but it's just super popular.
Dude, that's
right?
such a crazy,
and it's that's a very long one, and a lot of people have done it too. But eventually, we will touch on that. But anyway, I'm just putting it into perspective that like right now we're at a serial killer with 10, and not saying this is not like world renowned news, but if you go back and you look at, like when people talk about like Jack the Ripper, right? He only. I don't want to say only either. I'm not downplaying the fact.
Right. Man, if you look at a lot of serial killers too, like if you look at even some of the more, like obviously the real famous ones have pretty high body counts, but there's been some like, if you look into a lot of serial killers, they'll have like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And like, that's not what you think of necessarily when you think of a serial killer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're instantly thinking Bundy.
Right.
Yeah. Or Gacy or whatever it is, which by the way, I started watching that Gacy one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then,
did you see there was a picture I put up, John Wayne Gacy
as a kid. He's a fat little fucker, wasn't he? Yeah. I mean, farter. I mean, fricker, fudger. Fudger.
Pooper. I mean, I'm sure he probably had poop in his diaper.
Yeah. So anyway, moving on here. So so it's up to 10 now. On April 22nd, police found 2 human hacking through thick alongside Ocean with machetes and chains. Fucking gross. Officials had
in there helping them hack through machetes and Okay. No. I
love when he does it because I don't know if he's.
No, I am serious. It's that he's the thing that you. What do you think it is?
I think it's going to be the one. What's it called? With the drug issues, the drug dealers and the they're drug addicts. Sorry, what is that called? Yes, that's what I'm thinking for Dream Rail. Fuck, it's a. Damn, I forgot she was in. Forgot she was in that. 3 is Labyrinth.